Our Story, Part 14. The Storefront Church. The church kept growing. We had started in our living room. Then God opened the door for us to meet in the community center downtown. But before long, it became clear that the community center was not going to hold us much longer. People in Salt Lake City were hungry for Bible teaching. Pastor Chuck Smith had been on the radio there for years. So many people were already familiar with Calvary Chapel. They knew the name. They had heard the teaching. And now there was a place in Salt Lake City where they could come, open the Bible, worship, and grow. We needed a larger building. Not far from where we were meeting, there was a shopping center. It had a grocery store in it, but many of the smaller shops next to it were empty. I talked to the owner and asked if he would be willing to rent us one of the spaces. Then I asked him something else. I asked if we could also use the other empty spaces until he rented them. I told him we would take good care of them, and if someone rented one, we would move out of that space. He agreed. Looking back, that may not have been the best deal for him. After all, now he had a group of Christians praying that he would not rent out his empty spaces. But he was a dear man, and he blessed us so much. I am sure that thought never crossed his mind. So we moved into the shopping center. At the time, we thought, this may be where we stay for a long time. The main room could seat about 250 people, and because we were able to use the other empty spaces, we had plenty of room for the children's ministry. On Sundays, we could move into those rooms, use them for the kids, and then move things back out again. It was not fancy. It was not a cathedral. It was a storefront church in a shopping center. But God was there, and people kept coming. Around that time, the local news media started hearing about us. I was still preaching in the park, doing outreach, helping with concerts, and looking for any opportunity I could find to talk to people about Jesus. Somehow word began to spread about this young pastor and this new church that was growing in Salt Lake City. A reporter wanted to come out and do a story. I was glad for the opportunity, but I also wanted to be careful. I did not want the story to be about me. I wanted them to understand that whatever was happening was because of Jesus. When the reporter came, he brought a photographer with him. The photographer looked at me and asked if I had any clergy clothes I wanted to put on for the pictures. I did not really know what he meant. Clergy clothes? I was not a priest. I did not have a robe or a collar or anything like that. So I told him, no, but if you need me to, I can put on a bathrobe. He did not think that was funny. I thought it was pretty good. But as they interviewed me, I really had only one thing to say. It was Jesus. Jesus had changed my life. Jesus had called us to Salt Lake City. Jesus had opened doors. Jesus had brought people. Jesus was healing marriages. Jesus was saving lives. Jesus was building his church. It was not about me. It was not about our plans. It was not about our abilities. It was Jesus. That little storefront church became a sweet season in our lives. We were still young. We were still learning. We were still making mistakes. But God was moving, and people were coming. Before long, the church in the shopping center would become known in a way we had not expected. And one newspaper headline would give us a title I never would have chosen for myself.